In New Valley Corporation versus United States, we'll look at how courts determine whether damages are direct damages or consequential damages after a breach of contract. Western Union Telegraph Company entered into an agreement with NASA, a federal government agency. In the agreement, NASA agreed to launch 2 Western Union communication satellites within a set period of time. NASA successfully launched the first satellite and planned to launch the second satellite in June of 1986. However, in January of 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded. After the Challenger disaster, President Ronald Reagan announced that NASA's launch services would be limited to launches that were shuttle-unique or had national security or foreign policy interests. Because Western Union's satellite didn't meet the new launch requirements, NASA informed Western Union that it wouldn't be able to launch the second satellite before their agreement expired. Western Union was unable to secure an alternative launch option for its satellite. During its search for a new launch option, Western Union was in a state of financial distress, and it sold many of its assets. Western Union eventually sold the satellite that NASA couldn't launch for an almost $12 million loss. Western Union, now known as New Valley Corporation, filed suit against the United States for breach of contract. The contract between Western Union and NASA limited damages for a breach to direct damages. Western Union argued that if it had been able to sell its satellite with a NASA launch contract, Western Union would have received more money for the satellite. The United States Court of Federal Claims found in favor of New Valley, holding that New Valley was entitled to damages because NASA breached the contract. The court held that the amount of damages would be determined in another trial. In the subsequent trial regarding damages, the United States moved for summary judgment, claiming that New Valley's damages weren't direct damages. Instead, the United States argued that New Valley's damages were consequential damages, or damages that were a secondary consequence of NASA's non-performance. New Valley cross-moved for summary judgment, claiming that it was entitled to damages based on the court's earlier opinion.